Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers far and wide. Welcome in to the 51st episode of the Talking the Line podcast. Hey, thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to come and kick it with the crew on this beautiful Thursday of bets. Now, before we talk some lines like we usually do, dive deep into today's action and give you the value that we found across today's slates, please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL podcast on, whether you are watching the live YouTube show or the post-recorded version or the audio version on your favorite podcast directory. Make sure you hit that bad boy so you never miss an episode of the TTL Pod. If you could also be so kind, take a few extra seconds and hit that like button, leave us a comment, leave us a rating, all that good stuff. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate it when you guys do, and it only helps us make this bigger and better for each and every one of you. Last but not least, head on over to this episode's description where you can locate the Talking the Line link tree. Within that link tree, you will find all of the TTL Crew's content so you can consume it however and whenever you please. That's right, we do more than just the daily pod, and we got more coming on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, gamblers, I am your humble host, Colt 45 Soroka, and once again, thank you so much for taking a few brief moments, about an hour or so, to come and kick it with these two guys. If you're listening, you might not see the second guy, so it's time to bring in the co-host of the Talking the Line podcast, a young man whose Green Bay Packers fandom runs deep, as you can see on his chest, and he will hear none of the nonsense, none of the gossip, and none of the rumors about QB12. He is ready for his White Sox to lay the hammer down tonight with Lance Lynn on the mound. And without further ado, let me bring in my gambling partner, the degenerate legend himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
My man, I'm doing just fine. I'm rocking a bit of a stiff neck, so if you see me doing a full body turn to look at you, that's what's going to be happening today.
Yeah,
but, we're powering through.
Yeah,
playing, hurt, not injured.
Yeah, we discussed it pre-show. Said, hey man, you want to go on the IL? It is baseball season. We
Hurt,
can
not
give you
injured.
the day off, no problem. He said, nah. I'm a warrior. I'm a gangster. I'm a true fighter. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give them the best picks regardless of what's going on with me.
Absolutely, no question.
Outside of that, pal.
I'm doing just fine outside of that.
Outside of that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Things are
I
dandy.
absolutely love to hear it. It is heating up in the Windy City, ladies
Sure
and
is.
gentlemen. Looking like we're going to be up in the 90s here
Oh, yeah.
come end of the week. So hot temperatures mean hot bets. However, did say that yesterday. Let's just get to it real quick right at the top of the show, get through it so we can just move right along and pretend like it never happened. Let's recap yesterday's bets as we are a full transparency show. Here we go. Holy smokes. All right, one win on the board for the Cruise plays. That was Mags, the Texas and Colorado under 11. Everything else was a straight up loser. I thought my Rays were at least going to be able to get me one on the board and come back late there in the ninth inning after Aroldis Chapman walked two batters in the ninth and ended up striking out the next three. So
I was this close from a 3-1 day, and of course it goes 1-3.
Yeah, absolutely. The Boston-Houston game was very brutal as
that one
well.
was rough. Yeah, that one was rough.
The Minnesota-Baltimore might have been the worst beat I have seen in the MLB this season for totals.
Yep. stranded a runner on second in the ninth, trying to get that last run, finished 6-3, I think. Diamondbacks 6-6 in the top of the ninth.
Yeah.
Gave up a single, then gave 2 free bases. I think it was Lindor, and then a nice RBI single for them. So and then the Astros, Red Sox strand 6 base runners, 5-6 base runners in the first inning, and then I think they put up 1 run after that. So not what you want to see. So that one was my worst one. But
Grizzlies got bounced out of Utah, no problem. We had one more shot to write them as the Wednesday Warrior, and it did not go as planned.
No regrets.
First things first, no regrets on these plays. Let me tell you why. One thing I want to say first is if you're writing these plays, if you have faith in the TTL crew, which you should, our apologies. This is not what we do. We always talk about this as a marathon, not a sprint, and we've had a couple of hiccups. That's first things first. Second of all, we would have not started this journey of professionally handicapping, producing sports gambling, and other sports-related content if we weren't good at it. We were starting to trend. We were doing well at it, and that's what comes with the game sometimes, especially when you're new in the game. You fall into some traps and some different things. With all that being said, we still spend hours and hours of our day going through lines, researching, discussing, talking, all of the above. And even still, these suckers don't hit. However,
it is how it is sometimes.
It is how it is. Welcome to gambling, baby. If you can't handle it, maybe you shouldn't be watching a gambling show and hammering picks with us. But since you are, we do appreciate the hell out of it, and we will continue to hammer in plays every single day till we start finding the crisp, clean value and keep bringing it to you. If you want to fade, go right ahead.
Go right ahead.
However, play that with caution, because we might be coming back with a damn vengeance today.
Well, what I was about to say is we might be picking up some followers because of our damn Moneyline Dice. Couple plus money winners in 2 days in a row now.
Yes, my Montreal Canadiens. I have been talking about them for the last month and a half now. Watch out for them in the Stanley Cup. And boy, oh boy, here they come. Jumped out to an early 3-1 lead and ended up getting that victory. I absolutely love what I'm seeing from the Habs, and our gracious Moneyline Dice giving us that play. Would have not even thought about it otherwise. Like you said, back-to-back 2 days, high underdog cashers.
Yeah.
Will the Dice pull it off for a third day in a row?
I think they got it.
I think they do as well. We'll see what happens. You better believe the Moneyline Dice will be making an appearance on today's show. We have an NBA matchup for them to roll on, but we're not going to tell you what it is until we get to that segment. Obviously, we got RMags Best Bets today. He has four plays coming at you. Snuck an extra one in there on me, and I have 3 MLB plays coming at you. Of course, another Thursday brings another Triple Play Thursday Parlay, and we got one cooked up. We got one leg that's a first 5 money line, a first 5 run line, and then the third leg is a total play. You'll have to stick around for the second segment of this episode in order to get that bad boy as well, but you better believe we cooked this one up, and damn it, partner, I'm ready to get a special play to the window, worse than anything on this planet, I believe this is the one to do it. All right, pal.
I'm ready for it.
Let's get after it.
Okay.
We're about to get into today's best bets, but a few other housekeeping items before we do. Been kind of pondering. Might be a good day. I think I might bring back old Colt's Daily Draw.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. I saw a few matchups that I really like that I might get into, that I could be interested in. But you'll have to wait and see till after the show, until after I get some stuff accomplished after the show, if I'm going to put it out.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to have to keep things rolling on my prop of the day. I keep putting it out on Twitter. Yeah. 5 in a row, my people. 5 in a row.
Yeah.
I know at least the last 3, if not more, are all plus money. So
yeah, you have been murdering the MLB prop game.
Pat myself on the back. Yeah, nice.
I will continue to ride right alongside you there, my friend. Absolutely. You have been killing that game. Outside of that, quick reminder, we have been having somewhat decent days outside of the pod. Some other plays have been hitting. It's been kind of strange, but that's how it's been happening. We're working to fix that and believe today is the day. However, make sure you follow us on the Action Network app. this guy, at RMags, all caps, me, at cash_with_Colt, and you can follow all of the daily plays from the pod in case you missed anything at Talking the Line, all one word, nice and easy for you. Make sure you follow us there just so you can get all of our daily best bets, all of the stuff we lock in outside of the pod, because we still got other winners we like too. But as always, we give you our best bets of the day here. So without further ado, cut the nonsense, cut the drama, cut all the nonsense that we say for the Rants and Reactions and that you can go to every other media outlet and get. You come here for the Stone Cold Locks and running tickets to the window with the TTL crew. Now, it has been a bit of a bumpy ride, but not for the long term. Just a quick couple days. We just got to reset, see some stuff. My partner came into the TTL production studios today. Even though he was a little injured, he was still smiling. That neck injury did not impact the grin on his face. He is still reeling in good vibes, still dropping down nothing but knowledge, still seeing lines like it is his job, because it is. So without further ado, it is time for RMag's best bets of the day. I'm going to put a trap on it just for a little while. And as always, partner, you have the floor.
Alrighty, I appreciate it. First play of the day, I've got 3 MLB plays and 1 NBA. First one is going to be a play that I had similarly yesterday. Rangers versus Rockies, this time under 10.5. You've got Mike Foltynewicz on the mound for the Rangers, righty, and you've got Austin Gomber on the mound for the Rockies. He is a lefty. Both pitchers struggled early on in this season, but they are coming on strong as of late. Much like yesterday, I don't care that it's in Coors Field. I don't care that the pitchers have ERAs over 4. Foltynewicz, I'm going to have to keep working on that one, but Foltynewicz,
I'm going to have to do it as well.
Yeah, last 2 starts, 14 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. First of those 2 was a 7 innings pitched, 0 earned run outing versus the Houston Astros. Gomber in May held a 3.15 ERA. And in his last 4 starts, he has held opponents to 2 or less, and that includes 2 starts versus the Padres, allowing a total of 1 earned run. And the under has hit in his last 5 starts. These offenses are too cold once again for a double-digit total in this one. Rangers 2 or less in 5 of their last 6. That one outlier came yesterday, and they only scored 3 runs, partner. Rockies scored more than 4 yesterday for the first time since May 22nd. And now here against lefties on the season, you've got the Rangers hitting .236, batting average, .296 OBP, 3.85 runs per 9. Nothing special, and in the last 5, it's been pretty brutal for them versus lefties. 188 batting average, .235 OBP, and a slim 257 runs per 9 innings. Rockies versus righties, .220 batting average, .290 OBP, and 4.15 runs on the season. Last 5, those batting average numbers, OBP, right around the same, maybe even a little higher, but those runs per 9, last 5, 2.76 runs per 9, and last 10, 2.37 runs per 9. These bullpens last 5 have been picking things up, partner. 2.7 ERA for the Rangers, 3.52 for the Rockies. Give me the combo of the pitchers heating up, offense is cooling down, and a double-digit total that screams under to me, partner.
I would have to agree with you as well. Was your one winner of the day yesterday, so let's stay on that train. I would have to agree with you. I was kind of sheepish on it yesterday, but I don't think these teams are putting up a boatload of runs. In the first 5 innings, the Rockies have got it done at the buzzer in the last 2 games. So I think it's some of the same, another low-scoring game right around that 3-2, 3-1 kind of ball game.
And I think worst case scenario, or maybe not worst case scenario, but worst case scenario for it still to win, you might see something like yesterday where one of these offenses breaks out for 5-6, but then the other one stays down to 2-1 or 0. So first play under 10.5.
Absolutely.
Scroll down on my notes here. Second play is going to be coming out of the AL Central. Twins versus Royals. I am taking the Royals money line. You've got 2 lefties on the mound in this one. J.A. Happ versus Chris Bubich. Bubic will be making his 4th start for the Royals since coming out of the bullpen earlier on in the season, and that move's been paying off for him and the Royals. 3 starts for Bubic here the last few weeks. Royals are 3-0, and that is against the Brewers, Tigers, and these Twins. Bubic, 17 innings pitched, 11 hits, 3 earned runs over those 3 starts, and even as a out of the bullpen, he was doing quite all right. He had a couple 5-inning outings where he gave up at least or no more than 1 run, so he's been getting it done. J.A. Happ, dominant in April, terrible in May, partner. 8.49 ERA over 5 starts. That is not the recipe you want. If you catch him versus a team that's struggling against lefties, that might be the recipe, but that's not the case here, partner. So these offenses, these teams have pretty similar numbers versus lefties on the season, but last 5 games, Royals 242 batting average, 5 runs per 9 innings. Compare that to the Twins, 211 batting average, 1.8 runs per 9, and Royals last 10, 241 batting average, 377 runs per 9. Twins last 10, 204 batting average, 264 runs per 9, partner.
I'm a big fan of that one. The Twins have been real shaky, dropped 2 straight to the O's the last 2 games. The Orioles were on a 13 or 14 game losing streak before that, so I don't have a whole lot of faith in this Twins team, and especially the arm of J.A. Happ. He's not somebody I'm really trying to put my money behind. Right. This might only be a half unit play for me. I'm not super high on Kansas City, but I do like what you're throwing down there, so I might have to get behind the arm of old Bubic and the Royals today.
Yeah, I'm really liking Bubic, and even these last 5 games, just in general, not just against lefties, the offense as a whole, they've scored at least 5 in each of their last 5 games, and they're 4-1 over that stretch. And the Twins have scored 4 only once in their last 7 games, and they are 3-4 during that stretch. Bullpens pretty similar on the season, 3.95 for the Royals, 4.77 for the Twins ERAs. But last 5, 4.5 ERA for the Twins, 2.45 for the Royals, and last 10, even better for both teams actually, but Twins right around their average, 4.19 ERA. Royals all the way down to 1.96 ERA. So the bullpen's picking up for the Royals, and I think Bubic goes 5-6 innings, gives up no more than 2 runs, and I think you got a couple guys in the Royals offense, or I know you got a couple of guys on the Royals offense who hit J.A. Happ well, and they've been hitting the ball pretty well, and that's Salvador Perez and Carlos Santana. So I think at least one of those guys has a nice game today. Could be one of my props of the day, but we'll see. But anyways, second play of the day is the Royals money line.
Absolutely. So there's 1 and 2. Now hit him with number 3.
Okay, number 3 here. Believe these odds are a little chalky, maybe minus 150 if I'm not mistaken, and that's going to be the Mets plus 1.5 versus the San Diego Padres. You've got Taijuan Walker on the mound for the Mets righty, and he is going up against Big Bad Yu Darvish for the Pods. Both of these pitchers have been fantastic this season, but to your surprise, Walker might be the hotter of the two. Walker, 1.61 ERA in May. Last 4 games, only 1 run allowed. Not to mention the Mets are 8-1 in his starts on the season, partner. While Darvish has been just as impressive. He is coming off his worst start of the season. He allowed 4 earned runs over 5 innings pitched last week. I think this has a very good chance of being a 1-run game either way. But what makes me sad with the Mets, obviously the odds, no question, but the Mets offense is starting to produce right now. They've had at least 5 runs in their last 4 games and are 5-1 straight up over their last 6 because of that offensive surge. Padres 0-4 straight up over their last 4, scoring 4 only once during that stretch. Your Cubbies had their way with them. Not to disrespect the Cubs pitching staff, but those guys aren't quite the level that Taijuan Walker is right now. So I'm liking this Mets to keep things real tight. I might even sprinkle a little bit on the money line, but that plus 1.5 is screaming at me.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there as well. I think it's another solid play. Going to be definitely a tight game. I had eyes on the first 5 innings, the under 3.5. Kind of liked it. might do it a little half unit on a side play. We'll see what happens there, but I do like the total under there and the full game as well, under 6.5. You got these dominant pitchers in Walker and Darvish on the mound. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think the Mets can definitely keep it close, and if not get the outright win, definitely one-point loss.
Yeah, and the only thing I have to add is that the Mets' last 5 versus righties, 7.28 runs per 9. So
there you go. So 1, 2, and 3. Drop number 4.
Number 4, I told you I only had 3 in the MLB. 4th one is coming out of the NBA. And I am taking the Phoenix Suns money line versus the LA Lakers in Game 6. And the Suns to close out the Lakers here tonight. Lakers are going back home, but they do not have the offensive help here for LeBron. We saw it in Game 5. I don't think it's going to be the same blowout that we saw in Game 5, but I think it's going to be a similar frustration for that Lakers offense. I think their defense is going to hold the Suns down a little bit more than they did, kind of how they did in Games 3 and 4. They split those games, obviously, but the games were low scoring. I don't believe the Suns broke 100, or they might have hit 100 in one of those 2 games. But all in all, I think this Lakers team, they're not going to crack 100 themselves. Like I said, you got KCP questionable. Kuzma, I mentioned the other day, he ended up having the best game of his series, but he was still only 1 for 5 from 3. So if you think the Lakers are going to win this game, you have to imagine either you're going to see a LeBron performance at the top, top 5 LeBron performance. A lot of people were expecting that in Game 5. That didn't happen. He played all right, but nothing like they need to get this win. And so if you really think the Lakers are going to win, you have to believe that they're going to get some type of, maybe not out of body production from one of their role players, but certainly something that's going to be the peak of their powers, like Kuzma or KCP or someone else even more unexpected. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Suns have the right defensive recipe, and without AD again, I think it's going to be Ayton, Chris Paul, Devin Booker taking care of business here tonight.
I think you are very correct, sir. Still a little bit up in the air with AD, kind of per the doctors. He may be okay,
still
but
questionable,
I think with any not 100% AD and with it looking like him not being on the floor, there's nothing that this Lakers team can do against the Suns team. LeBron left the court, 5 minutes early?
Mm-hmm.
I think this Lakers team is dead, and you might as well just put a bow on it. It's a wrap, paper or plastic. So I will be happily hammering in the plus 2.5 and quite possibly the money line. You're taking the money line. So probably just take the money line outright, but do like the plus 2.5 as well if you're a little sheepish on the money line.
Exactly, yeah. But I feel real good about this Suns team to close it out tonight.
Same here, my man. So there you go. RMags 1, 2, 3, 4 best bets of the day. We will be sure to recap them in the best bets of the day recap. So stick around just for a little while and we'll give you those. But for now, it is time for my best bets of the day. And at the top of the show, told you I had 3 to bring to you. Getting things started for me today, I am going with one of the early games here. I don't want to say early, but one of the first games on the slate, rather. This game, first pitch is at, it is early, 11:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're riding with me, I suggest you lock it in early. And now I already have on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Free promo. You're welcome, FanDuel. Here we go, rocking and rolling. For the first matchup, today, it is the matchup between the Washington Nationals and the Atlanta Braves, and I am taking the Washington Nationals first 5 run line plus a half. You got Patrick Corbin on the mound for the Nationals, the lefty, and Tucker Davidson on the mound. He is a righty for the Braves. Corbin hasn't been that great all season long. He's been a little shaky. His surface numbers aren't the best, but let me tell you why I'm a little bit higher on Patrick Corbin and why I think he's going to have a pretty solid game so far. After a rough 2 outings to start the season, he bounced right back against the Cardinals and went 6 innings, 4 hits, 5 Ks, no walks, no earned runs. He then went on about a 3-game rough patch again, an exact 3-game rough patch again, where he just wasn't doing what he needed to be doing and leaving balls right over the plate. After that 3-game stretch, pitched a gem. 7 innings against Philadelphia, only gave up 5 hits, 9 Ks, no walks, 1 earned run. He is now currently on a 3-game bender where he has been pitching a little rough. So I'm a man of trends and I'm a man of bounce backs, and I do believe today is one of those gems we are going to see from Patrick Corbin. This Braves offense has been so-so against him in the past. Nothing crazy, nothing outlandish, right around the low 200s for most of this lineup, up and down at few guys touching the low 300s. But I'm not concerned about that. This Braves offense has hit a little bit of a slow patch. They've been able to keep up and continue, but for some reason, this Nationals team has just had their number when they've been in Atlanta so far this season. Now, the Nats are also 3-2 straight up in the first 5 innings in Corbin's last 5 starts. As for Davidson on the mound for the Braves, he's only had 1 start so far this season. New guy, and it was actually against a lowly Mets team back on May the 18th. So it was a while back ago. Well, not a super long time back ago, but this Mets team was pretty banged up during that time, if you do remember. He went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, only had 5 Ks, a walk, a home run, and 3 earned runs. So I don't think he's had any time to improve. I don't think he's had any time to really get anything better from what we saw from him the first time. The game was in Atlanta, so I don't think it matters home or road here. He's at home again. I don't think that really plays too much of a factor for him. And I think that this Washington Nationals lineup has a very, very solid chance to take him, if not deep a few times, at least beat him around the ballpark. The Nats against righties on the road so far this season have just been terrific. 243 batting average, 307 OBP, and a 4.05 runs per 9. That Atlanta bullpen also not the strongest. They are kind of right around the middle of the pack. So if it does get into the bullpen early, I like for them to be able to touch them up as well. First 5 innings for these teams in the last 5 games. The Nationals 2-2-1 straight up, and Atlanta 2-3 straight up in the first 5 innings. 3 games already between these teams, and this is the 4th game of the series. So that would mean a few of those wins for the Nationals have already come against this Braves team in the first 5 innings. So I'm not too worried about them getting the job done here today, but I do like the half a run backing, just in case it's a tie and they don't get out of there with a clean win in the first 5. First 5 runs per game and runs per game allowed for these teams are super, super close, so they don't even really bear mentioning. They're pretty much identical home-road splits, but I really think it comes down to Corbin bouncing back, having a really good day against this Braves team, and the Nats get on the board early, or it's just kind of a little bit of a pitcher's duel, and maybe we see young man Davidson having a bounce-back day.
Yep. I think so, man.
So for my first pick of the day, there you have it. Washington Nationals, first 5 plus a half. Second play of the day, I'm going to a matchup that my partner already talked about, and that is the Texas Rangers versus Colorado Rockies, except I'm taking a side, not the game total, and I am taking the Colorado Rockies. Now, he gave you a few key stats. Let me give you a few more about these pitchers. I'm going to keep the name short. Now, Folty, nothing special for the Rangers, as my partner has said. He did have one notable outing so far this year against Houston out of 10 starts overall, and he has not been anything great. 62 2/3 innings pitched, 1-5 record, 4.31 ERA, 44 Ks, 16 walks, 805 OPS with a 270 batting average. He has been all over the map and letting teams hit him at will. Gomer, on the other hand, he did have a really, really shaky start to the season. It looked like he was going to be rough. However, he has bounced back regardless of his top line numbers, and his last 4 starts are actually what I'm looking at. 23 1/3 innings pitched, 18 hits, 26 Ks with only 3 walks, only 5 earned runs. 3 out of 4 of those were on the road, and his best start was at home in the 4th matchup. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 Ks, 1 walk, no earned runs. I like him to repeat a similar performance, as he has not been able to pitch at home since that matchup, and that was quite a while ago. Home road splits for these teams is also what I'm really, really keen in on. The Rangers are dead ass last, almost dead ass last, 29th in the MLB in road straight up wins. They are 9-22 straight up on the road, 9-21 straight up as a road dog. Colorado has been a very dominant good team at home so far this season. The Rockies are 18-12 at home and 8-2 as a home favorite, holding the best record in the MLB as a home favorite this season. Texas, their last 5 against lefties has not been so well. That's another thing I'm really keying on here. 188 batting average, 235 OBP, and they're only scoring about 2.5 runs per 9 innings. So even if Austin Gomber goes long late in this game, I still see him remaining dominant deep into the 6th, 7th inning if they do decide to let him go that far. Not to mention, historically, in Game 3 of this series, Texas is 7-9 straight up in Game 3, 4-6 straight up after a loss in Game 2. Colorado 9-6 straight up in Game 3, 5-1 straight up after a win in Game 2.
Okay.
I absolutely love that historical trend and stat. And last but not least, Texas is 2-5 straight up in the last 7 meetings. The last 7 meetings and the last 5 meetings in Colorado, they are 2-3 straight up. Rangers are absolutely terrible on the road. They have no business, and you have no business putting your money on them to try and beat this Colorado Rockies team, especially when the Rockies have got it done twice already. So for my second best bet of the day, give me the Colorado Rockies money line.
I love it, man. I mean, yeah, you mentioned it. I already have a play in this game, but I'm definitely going to be siding with you. I like Gomber better than Fulte. We'll just keep it like that.
Fulte, man. Nice
and that
easy.
Rangers offense is even twice as cold as Colorado's colder. They're not ice cold. So yeah, I'm all over it with you.
Yeah. So there you go. Appreciate the backing. Second best bet of the day. Now for my third and final best bet of the day. You better not dare do it. You better not dare even think about it. Don't call me a homer, damn it. 'Cause here they are, boys. I should have scotch taped a little plus a half underneath here. However, ladies and gentlemen, my third best bet and final best bet of the day, Cubs first 5 run line plus a half. My boys are hot. They are smoking hot. They just came off of a terrific series against the Padres.
Yep.
Looked extremely well, and I don't think anything is going to slow them down. And now, I can't even believe I'm saying it, they're vying for the best record in the National League, damn near in the MLB. They're getting very, very, very close, and they know it too. They're hot. That team's energy and mojo right now, regardless of injuries, has been absolutely huge. Excuse me, little frog in the throat. Moving right along, you got Zach Davies on the mound for my Cubbies and Anthony DeSclafani on the mound for the Giants. Now, you know I've been super high on DeSclafani this entire season. However, been a little shaky in his last couple starts. Actually gave up 10 earned runs in a start a couple games ago, which was actually so off par from him for this season, but for his career, actually kind of on par for him. He wasn't always the best for the Reds. And why do I mention the Reds? Because they are in the NL Central and they get to play the Cubbies before. So DeSclafani has pitched a good amount against these Cubbies. Now, against the Cubbies, he has had 12 starts against them. 245 batting average, 302 OBP, 754 OPS. The Cubbies right now have the 4th best OPS in the National League at 736.
Okay.
They are ripping the ball and getting the ball on base. Let's stick with DeSclafani. Told you he was a workhorse. However, I don't think he is going to be continuing to trend in that direction. I think it's the time of the season now where DeSclafani starts to fall off and we see the traditional man that he has been for the Reds over the years. The Giants are actually 2-1 straight up in his last 5 starts, but those losses are coming the most recently.
Those first 5s?
Yes, first 5s. And those are coming recently. Those losses are when I told you he's kind of been struggling now. So I really see him continuing to kind of struggle, and especially against this Cubs team that has been electric on the offensive side of the ball. Now, Davies on the mound for the Cubs, not who we thought he was going to be at the beginning of the year. A little bit of a rough start, a little bit of a few rough outings, and we thought, oh boy, what did we get in this trade? But now he has settled in. In his last 5 starts, 27 1/3 innings pitched, only 20 hits, 12 Ks with 7 walks, so command is a little bit of an issue, but only 5 earned runs. Now, with that command, he has still been able to do well against the Giants in his career.
Okay.
He actually obviously played for the Padres and then for the Milwaukee Brewers, so had some opportunities to face these Giants. 6 starts against these Giants in his career. He allows them to a .252 batting average, .286 OBP, and only a .664 OPS, and across those 6 starts only has allowed 11 runs. Did not get exact total if all of those were earned, but I do believe they were. Davids has been pretty well against these Giants. Giants are having a little bit of an issue in their lineup right now. Not sure if they're going to have Longoria back or Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski a little bit more doubtful than Longoria, but nonetheless, I still like that a little bit there, especially with this pitching matchup. Last 5 game overall for these two teams. The Cubs 4-1 straight up in the first 5 innings, and the Giants 3-1-1 straight up in the first 5 innings. These two teams actually haven't played each other since 2019, so it's going to be a bit of a new open book. Can't wait to see what this matchup is actually going to be like, but I am betting the hotter team in my Cubbies, and if you're going to give me a half-run backing in the first 5, at the very least, they have this game tied by the top of the 6th inning. If not, get the outright win. So for my third best bet of the day, give me all of the Cubs' first 5 run line plus a half.
I like it, man. I can validate you. I was liking this as well. The Cubs lineup versus DeSclafani was one that, I mean, aside from them being obviously hot right now, their numbers against DeSclafani is what piqued my interest. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, without looking at it right now, I think your man Chris Bryant, who is scorching hot himself alone, has had some success against DeSclafani.
Yeah.
Mentioned it in one of my plays. He might even be, I still haven't decided yet, he could even be one of my props of the day. So all in all, I'm riding right along with you on that one.
Boys and girls, we did it. We convinced a Sox fan to bet on the Cubs.
Hey, I've been riding on them the last week or so.
I mean, a little bit. They have been hot. They kind of remind me of what your Sox were last year.
Okay.
That's all in good fun. I love winning money on the White Sox as well, but they have been a little touchy lately. So there you have it. Moving right along, my 3 best bets of the day. Now you got all 7 of our best bets. We'll be sure to obviously recap them here very soon, but let's move right along into the second segment of the day, the special play segment, and today's special play, the Triple Play Thursday Parlay. Now, if you haven't been around before, first things first, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining us. But if you have, you know what's coming if you haven't. Triple Play Thursday Parlay, obviously, it has to do with MLB. It's got to be part of an MLB. So it is a 3-leg MLB parlay.
No KBO? Korean baseball?
From time to time. I have no idea what's going on over there, so don't ask me at all. So our Thursday special play is a 3-leg MLB parlay. Call it the Triple Play Thursday Parlay, 4 S's and G's. Let's get right into it. We got a real juicy one coming at you today. Real confident in this one. Also, switched it around a few times, moved it around a few times, looked at it, polished it, shined it, make sure it looked good, ready to present to you. It is. So without further ado, partner, would you like to get things kicked off and tell them what we are taking for the first leg of our Triple Play Thursday Parlay?
All right, first play of this parlay. I believe this one is in a little afternoon action. You've got the Red Sox versus the Houston Astros, and we are taking the Astros first 5 money line. You've got Martin Perez, lefty for the Red Sox on the mound versus Jake Odorizzi, righty for the Astros. The Astros versus a lefty. Both of these teams, if you put me in a spot where if they're facing a lefty, my ears perk up. In this case, it is just the Astros who are facing a lefty. And, Martin Perez is not terrible, but nothing special. He allows runs. He's pretty, you can basically pencil him in for at least 2-3 runs per game given up in those first 5 innings. The Astros are one of the best first 5 inning teams in the league in their offense. After, a slow day yesterday, before that, the first handful of games before that, they were red hot. I think yesterday was just a little bit of a hiccup for both of these teams, but I think the Red Sox, just for the Astros, the Red Sox have, been low scoring the last few against these Astros. And Jake Odorizzi, off IL, had a slow start to the season, looked a little shaky in April, but last week got back off the IL and looked very good against the Padres, gave up only 1 earned run, and that's obviously a very good lineup. So if you're giving me another good good lineup in the Red Sox to hold down for him. I like his chances. So I'm loving this Astros first 5 versus another lefty partner.
Yeah, I can't say all too much. I searched around a little bit on Boston, and everything with the lefty stats for the Houston Astros. I mean, alarms, buzzers, ringers go off everywhere when you see that. So I am absolutely 100% in on the Houston Astros first 5 money line for the first leg. For the second leg, we got a little bit of a total play here for you. Second leg, we are taking the over 9 runs now. It was actually 8.5 when we were looking at it this morning. It has ticked up to 9, so you like to see that movement. The Diamondbacks versus Brewers, over 9. Now, the Brewers have been kind of an under team themselves. It hasn't been a super heavy over affair for these guys so far this season. In their last few games, they have kind of been up and down, over, under. Nothing you can really key out in as far as that. They've really been back and forth, and actually on the season, 26, and 3 over under so far this season. So it's kind of back and forth. Now, where the value really lies is the Arizona Diamondbacks right now. They have been putting up runs in bunches. Granted, they haven't been able to get those wins that they need to get, but we don't need them to win. We just need them to put up a shitload of runs again. So we're backing that, and we're also backing the fact that the Brewers will probably do that exact same thing as well with John Duplantier on the mound. I can't exactly remember.
Duplantier.
He has only pitched one game so far, I'm pretty sure, this season. It wasn't all too great for the D-backs. The D-backs pitching staff has really been all over the map, and not anybody that you can get behind.
Yeah, last start was his first start in our first appearance in the MLB since 2019. So he's a younger guy, not a huge prospect, I don't believe. And he gets used when needed as far as injuries are concerned. And that, like you said, that Diamondbacks pitching staff is kind of all over the map right now. You got Mad Bum just going on I don't know if he's officially on the IL, but he had some.
We'll talk about that a little later.
We'll talk about that. Anywho, Duplantier, like you said, not
bad. However, we'll see what happens. I think both of these pitchers and also Brett Anderson give up a bunch of runs in this game. I think it starts early. Actually, the over is 6-0 in the D-backs last 6 overall. When they're putting up runs, they continue to put up runs. It is also 5-0 the over in their last 5 games after allowing 5 runs or more in the previous game. The over is also 4-0 in their last 4 games following a loss. So once again, continue to come out and put up those runs. And Milwaukee is, like I said, not the hottest to the under. Can't really find too much, or to the over rather. Can't really find too much. But again, the Diamondbacks are the teams that have been pushing totals over for matchups. They did it 3 times back to back against a New York Mets team that really hasn't put up any runs for nothing, and they were able to get the total over very easily. So for the second leg, all over it, Arizona Diamondbacks, Milwaukee Brewers, over 9. Third and final leg, partner, going to the matchup between the Cincinnati Reds and the St.
You all right over there?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, in this case,
just in case I slip, can you go ahead and can you tell these folks what we're doing in case I have to say that disgusting word again?
All right, we are taking the Reds first 5 plus a half versus the St. Louis Cardinals. You've got Vladimir Gutierrez, righty for the Reds on the mound, versus Adam Wainwright, righty for the Cardinals. Goody is a good young. I said Goody. Gutierrez. I assume that's his nickname. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to him. Goody is a good young prospect. Looked good last week.
Yeah, he looks like a Goody, all right. He's got neck tattoos.
Looked good in his his first start last week. I believe it was against your Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. And Wainwright has been very inconsistent this season, and Cincinnati has hit righties well all season long. They had a little bit of a blip there a couple weeks ago, but they're starting to pick it back up against righties, and their guys have got some decent numbers against Wainwright in their career. So first 5 plus a half, I really like that. I think this game is at least going to stay tied, but I think these guys can touch up Wainwright today, partner. As I kick it to you.
I think no problem. I think they can as well. I can get a quick sip in, no problem. I think they can as well. This was actually one of my best bets yesterday. Now, probably would have lost as well because the vibes, the energy.
The same pitching matchup?
I don't think. I think the Reds were playing somebody else.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember now. That place is long gone, far behind. We're moving into the next day, but absolutely love for the exact reasons you said. Vlad Gutierrez looks like a dominant monster.
Vladdy Goody,
who you should be very scared of. And I think he comes out and has a very, very dominant game.
We're just handing out nicknames today.
Against the Cardinals. So no, I just said Vlad, not Vladdy.
I'm handing out nicknames.
But either way, there you have the third leg of the Triple Play Thursday Parlay. So now you have it. You have RMags best bets, my best bets, and the Triple Play Thursday Parlay special play. Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. Oh, I was waiting for you to go. My fault. And then we will soon get into everybody's favorite segment, the third segment of the day, the Moneyline Dice. But before we do, let's recap all of the best bets of the day for you guys so you don't miss a single one of our picks and all the value. So here we go. Oh, no, we didn't. Now we're in. Now we're on it. Click the wrong one. I'm still learning, producer Colt 45, but we're on the right page now. Mr. Riley White, if you could be so kind. First things first, we got our Mags picks. He is taking the Royals money line, the New York Mets plus 1.5, and Texas versus Colorado under 10.5. And wrapping things up for his picks, he is taking the Phoenix Suns money line, overly confident in the Valley Boys. For my picks, I got 3 coming at you. The Cubs first 5 plus 0.5, the Washington Nationals first 5 plus 0.5, and the Colorado Rockies money line. For the special play today, Triple Play Thursday Parlay.
Someone needs to fire our graphics man. Goodness gracious. It says parlay pop off.
Are you okay, dude? What's happening? Either way, Triple Play Thursday Parlay. Good thing I've said it about 10 times, so now you guys really know what it is. Astros first 5 money line, Arizona Milwaukee over 9, and Reds first 5 plus 0.5. Parlay those bad boys up. Get some real juicy odds. Not exactly sure on the full total yet because haven't officially cleared Cincinnati first 5 plus 0.5 on my favorite sports book. But they're real juicy. They're coming in real hot. Parlay that bad boy up. Let's get it to the window. So there you have them. Lock them home, hammer them down, sprinkle a little bit of dough on across them. Whatever you like to say, just make sure you get today's best bets of the day in at whatever the current best line you are finding them at on your favorite sports book. There you have it. Now you see down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Also noted, fireworks. It is going to be an explosion of bets today. Nothing but fireworks across the slate. Nothing but ticket cashers and winners all day long. So we had to make it a firework. But moving right along, left side of the screen here, the Moneyline Dice. Absolutely terrific victory yesterday. Had the win with the Montreal Canadiens, and you absolutely love to see that. However, they're ready to rock and roll for another roll already.
They are.
Roll twice, no pun intended. They are chipping away, as I've been saying, at that losing record, and now they are 10-14 overall. And tonight, they hit the hardwood for a roll between the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trail Blazers. So without further ado, it is time for today's Moneyline Dice roll.
Do it. It's a big game, Dice. A lot is riding on this, Dice. We need you.
Absolutely. The dice have arrived on set. They have made their appearance. They're looking real good, if I do say so myself.
Lights shining right off of them. Bouncing
glistening
right off of them.
In the studio lights. Real quick mention, if you want to get your own Moneyline Dice, head on over to moneylinedice.com. Website link is in this description. Also with the code down there. Once you pick out whatever merchandise you want, get to the checkout, enter code TTL10. You're going to get 10% off of your first order of whatever amount. Doesn't matter. No minimum. on moneylinedice.com because they're just that cool. So go over there, get whatever products you like from there, and be sure to enter code TTL10 so they know we sent you, and you're going to get 10% off with that order. So go lock some Moneyline Dice in and roll right alongside the crew when you can't figure out what side to pick. Speaking about what side to pick, the dice now have the floor. It is time to rock and roll. First roll of the day.
Come on, dice.
Are we going home? Are we going away? First, let's preface it. The
home team is the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yep. And the away team, obviously, is the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets coming in as plus 4.5 on the spread and not too sure on the underdog money line. However, obviously makes the opposite for the Blazers. So are we taking the home team Blazers to force a Game 7, or are we backing the Nugs to close it out? We will soon find out.
Will.
In a 3.
Got the odds right here.
Come in a 2.
Dice.
In a 1.
The Blazers.
Home team Blazers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so there is the first roll of the day. Second roll, money line or ATS. Are we taking a nice 205 Chalk City from the Blazers, or are the dice going to give us this spread? Because I'm all right on the spread. Come on, dice. What do you think? In a 3, in a 2, in a 1.
Yeah. Money line. Okay, dice. Hey, easy.
It's just fine. No problems whatsoever.
Goodness gracious. All right, dice.
Go ahead and give your thoughts.
I will. I mean, apparently it's Dame time. Go ahead and take them. It is Dame time. Game 6. This is a monster one. I mean, I guess Dame is going to keep that momentum that he had from Game 5. Let's see if Party gets it right on the screen. You can get a little closer there. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Right there. Home team money line. Minus 205. You'd like to get a little bit juicier, but the dice know what they want, and apparently it's going to be a nice little close winner for the Blazers. Maybe a little Dame time buzzer beater action. Needs a little redemption, not his own redemption for his team. Instead of tying it to send it to some overtimes, he's going to lock it down and put in a buzzer beater for the win. That's what I'm calling right now. I'm calling it for the dice. I'm calling Dame time buzzer beater.
Dame time buzzer beater?
Mm-hmm.
No cover.
Apparently the dice got a, no, not a cover. No.
The dice have spoken! Apparently, the Portland Trail Blazers will not be covering their minus 4.5 spread this evening. However, they will be winning on the money line according to the Moneyline Dice. So if you want to run a ticket to the window tonight, guaranteed, fact, no doubt, no lies detected, take the home team money line, the Portland Trail Blazers, minus 205. Lock it in and let the dice get that ticket to the window for you. Thank you, Dice.
Thank you, Dice.
We appreciate you. One more time with the handy travel bag. They are going to sleep.
What an appearance by the dice.
Sleep well. Have a great day. We'll see you on tomorrow's show. They have left the building, ladies and gentlemen. Moneyline Dice have left the building. Not Elvis, Moneyline Dice. Let me scoot on back in here.
What was that?
Elvis has left the building.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said Moneyline Dice. Well, Moneyline Dice, not Elvis. Don't worry, my friend. It's all good.
Yeah.
Rocking and rolling. I think the neck is getting to you, so we'll continue to move right along. No hesitation. No further discussion. There you have it. RMags best bets of the day. My best bets of the day. Triple Play Thursday Parlay and the Moneyline Dice have selected the Portland Trail Blazers money line. Lock them in. Hammer them home. Sprinkle a little dough down. All of them. Whatever you like to say. Just make sure you get them in at whatever the current best line you're finding them at on your favorite sportsbook. There it is. Rock and roll. Here we go. It's time to cash some doggone tickets, but it's also time now to get into the second half of the TTL podcast. Every show, we bring you a little bit of our hot takes, a little bit of our action. So, With that being said, if you are one of the kind gamblers that just stops by the first half of the show for our analysis, our picks, our plays, and everything in between, and you're about to head out of here, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate you continuing to have faith in us and wanting to run tickets to the window. But as always, remember, you come on back. We got more books to bankrupt, and we need your help doing it. So we will see you later. Peace and love. But for now, it is time to get into that aforementioned second half of the TTL Pod, episode number 51, June 3rd, 2021. 2 days. Rants and Reactions!
That's a good one.
We're here.
That was a good one.
We're live. We are good to go on today's Rants and Reactions. It's time to kick it on back a little bit. Drop it into first gear and get into some hot topics. Kicking things off, a little bit of professional football news. Not saying NFL for a very specific reason. It has been announced now that the USFL will be coming back in 2022.
Interesting stuff.
How about that?
Interesting stuff, man. I mean, it seems like somebody wants at least one of these side leagues to pick up because, I mean, there's a lot of people that are trying to play some football.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in America that like watching football no matter what it is, and I can attest to that. And I imagine, I have not looked into this too much, but I imagine it's probably going to be in that post-Super Bowl time like they've been trying to do, if I'm not mistaken.
I would imagine, but hey, shades of Doug Flutie. Who knows who the next Doug Flutie will be, ladies and gentlemen. But the USFL is back. The XFL also predicted to come back 2022. We'll see how everything. I'm pretty sure they're still rocking and rolling as far as all their financial negotiations and all that jazz right now. I haven't heard too much else on that other than 2022 is kind of the anticipated date for the XFL. Got to revisit it just a little bit here because still no update. Still no news, still no nothing from the great Aaron Rodgers. And now, Jordan Love's getting reps. Holy cow. He didn't take a single rep before. They might suit him up and get him going. It might be J-Love time.
Every day that passes that no update comes out is good, in my opinion.
Well, of course it would be good in your Packers' opinion, but it doesn't seem good from the unbiased opinion.
I wouldn't call you unbiased as a Bears fan. In this
no, I'm not. How do you know I'm a Bears fan? I don't know, man. It's looking a little weird over there. I know I said yesterday I don't think he's going anywhere, but it is looking weird. It is just not. It's very unnerving, and I think you're.
I've got nerves.
Okay, nerves of steel over here for the time being, I guess, but I don't know. I ain't buying all of it right now. I think this guy's got a pretty good poker face, if I do say so myself. Other big news.
I'm all right.
Okay. We'll take him at his word.
I'm all right.
But other big news, a potential DN that could be sacking Aaron Rodgers at some point in time, but not right now because they are in the opposite conferences. Myles Garrett officially retires from basketball and has now put all of his focus on football. He got tired of absolutely dominating and posterizing everybody that stepped on the hardwood with him.
Props to a great career, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. If you watch some of the videos he put out of him playing pickup games, I mean,
looks like he was playing against dudes like me.
The ups on that man, still ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, no
ridiculous.
Question. It did look like he was playing against dudes like me, though.
Yeah, he is a physical freak, to say the least. I mean, you can find videos for days on Myles Garrett. He's a scary human being. Yeah, and the fact that somebody has to line up across from him, a good 40 to 50 to 60 times a game and concoct a way to stop them or stop him, yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, no question.
That's not fun at all.
Would have been cool. Obviously, it wasn't even a conversation, but would have been cool to see him try to do a little dual sport like some of these guys do a little spring training baseball stuff here and there. But go focus on football.
Look at me, man. Spilling on my doggone shirt. Here we go. Well, you just guys are going to have to laugh that one off. Dropped it right down my face. I'm now out of water. Here we go.
Move right there.
So let's keep it going. Nothing really else to hot take on out of the NFL. I already ruffled his feathers enough on Rose. He ain't even buying into the BS today, so we ain't going to get nothing out of him today. Moving right along to some MLB news. Boy, oh boy, there has been some injuries.
Yeah.
We will get into that here in just a second, but wanted to touch on first a little bit of MLB history, or almost history made. Last night, the LA Dodgers had an 11-run bottom of the first inning, and Cody Bellinger had 6 RBIs in that bottom of the first. And not to mention that is the first time any MLB player has done that since Big Papi in 2008.
Okay.
And no other player has put up more than 6 RBIs in an inning since the expansion era started in 1961.
Wow. That's wild.
So pretty doggone elite class Bellinger finds himself in.
Yeah, that was a massacre. I'm glad to have not had any action on the Cardinals in that one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just go ahead and enjoy that from a fan perspective.
Absolutely. So just always like to mention when there seems like a lot of history has been made into this year's MLB season so far, and I am still fingers crossed and still backing the hell out of double-digit no-hitters this season. So
if we had our own like sportsbook promos, that would totally be an odds boost.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I don't know what those odds would be.
I don't know, but we would discuss it. So for our future partners at whatever sportsbook that is at, if you are currently watching this, no, that's on the future plans. We definitely will make that a little bit of a super boost in the future, because I would hammer the mess out of it if it was possible and if it was a prop somewhere. Back to those injuries.
Yeah.
IL Central. You just had Steven Strasburg go back on the IL yesterday, having neck issues again, so we're going to be out with Strauss yet again for undetermined amount of time. It's just absolutely brutal for that Nats pitching rotation. I mean, they can't catch a break.
Yeah, Strasburg, I mean, it's kind of been the bane of his career. I mean, he's had stretches where he's been healthy, but kind of in and out of the IL for a while.
Yeah,
so.
Another big dominant pitcher. You mentioned it earlier on in some of the analysis, Mad Bum. Who knows? Made an early exit. Looks he's still scheduled to have an MRI. I don't think anything's come out.
Wish you would have told someone that he was feeling some type of way before that game. That would have been nice.
That'd have been real nice.
He still put up an RBI yesterday.
Yes, he did knock one in. So that was pretty sweet to see from him. Against my Cubbies, the Padres. If you didn't see it, Tommy Pham and Se-Woo Kim, I believe that is how you say it. They had a nasty collision out in left field.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole stadium went quiet.
Right.
Like, it was nasty. It was top of the crown of the head to from Kim to the bottom of the chin to Pham. So it was pretty brutal. And now you also have Fernando Tatis questionable.
Right.
So it's, it might not be a bad idea to look at that Mets plus 1.5 is what I'm kind of trying to tell you, is this Padres lineup might be a little banged up and having to deal with some issues. Also, another big pitcher name that you hate to see, Jack Flaherty, on the 10-day IL right now, but scheduled to, or stated, expected to miss significant time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's tough, man. The Cardinals are trying to battle with your Cubs, and that's a key piece in their rotation. And he was solid this year. I don't know what his record was when he went down. I know the Sox took him last week, but he was at least 6-1, 7-1. So that's a tough one to see for them. Yeah. And too many injuries these days,
it's
man.
wild. I mentioned it earlier on in the pod, but Yastrzemski and Longoria battling some lingering stuff here. We'll see what comes out as far as their status as the day rolls out. Lorenzo Cain, Low Cain on the 10-day IL now. That's another thump back to his stock right now. He gets good, does really good, and then has to hit the IL for another 2-3 weeks, and he just hasn't been able to put anything together, and this Brewers offense has been struggling because of it. However, I do still think they put up a lot of runs today for our best, one of our best bets on the Triple Play Parlay. That being said, definitely a rough year so far for Locaine. He's been on and off the IL. You also got your boy Kopech still on the IL. The fireball.
Some hamstring stuff.
Fireball righty, not able to get in the lineup.
Yeah, it's tough. He's basically a jackknife for whether you need a spot start, whether you need a middle reliever, long reliever, setup man, closer, whatever you need. He's the guy for it right now, and he's got the right stuff. Partner and I were watching it last week, and partner was like, Achilles, and I quickly showed him my Achilles scar and said, no way, that did not look like an Achilles tear. I know one when I see him, and that was not it. But it was not a nice little hammy. It was a bad little hammy. So he's going to be out for a couple weeks, it seems.
Yeah, big time. And not a notable pitcher by any means, but Quintana going on the IL as well. So the A's will be without him for undetermined amount of time still as well. So needless to say, it has been injury-ridden season. I believe the Mets still have 10 players on the IL. They're still battling, even with guys coming back. So it's been injury central so far here the first 2 months of the season. So hopefully June starts to clean that up. Obviously, my Cubbies too, absolutely destroyed right now. So I'm really hoping that stuff gets turned around. I'm getting really tired of all these doggone injuries, especially on my team. Son of a gun. Another hot news coming out of the MLB, well, rather the minor leagues. This guy might not have even known about this.
I did not even see this at all.
So 4 minor league pitchers, one coming from the White Sox organization, have been banned from the MLB and its associated leagues for life for using a foreign substance in their gloves while pitching. 1, Marcus Evie of the White Sox, Sal Biasi, Kai Y Tang, and Mason Engler. So if you had any stock in those boys, you better sell it now because it's gone. They ain't got no opportunity. I wanted to just toss that in there because I happened to see it was a White Sox member of the White Sox organization, so it just kind of made me chuckle that it was your team. But
never heard of the guys. So
how about that
I
stuff?
I sweat that one out, but yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. Umpires are cracking down. The league is definitely keeping. We saw what happened with Gallegos. The league is keeping touch, and so are umpires. So I don't know. We might start seeing some additional stuff come out with some of the big leaguers. Who knows? Because they are definitely keeping an eye on it, and I honestly still can't believe it's an issue. But I mean, they have so many rules and different things against it now.
I mean, to this level, what does it got to be in there? I mean, fucking stick them, and I don't even know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, for them to get banned, it's got to be something pretty doggone hefty. So I don't know. I might have to get a little bit deeper into that, see what is all going on. But that's about it for the MLB. Nothing else crazy. Nothing else to really hotly react on. We're getting right around close to the halfway point of the year. So we're pulling up on some great baseball coming up over the next month, 2 months, and then holy cow, it's going to be the MLB postseason and the start of the NFL regular season. Holy cow. It is right there. It is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Hang tight. We're so close. We're so close. We are under 100 days until the start of the NFL regular season. Let's keep the faith. It's coming soon. With full capacity stadiums, by the way.
Just about to say it. I think there might be one more that's lagging, if I'm not wrong. I can't think of who it is.
And it was it might be the Colts. Or one other.
Be it.
I know it was the Colts and somebody else who were still lagging behind. So if it's not, it was the other team. Either way, little NBA action for you. What do we got going on here? Wow, the playoffs are heating up.
They are.
The Nets and Bucks have obviously been set for a while. That game's now scheduled for Saturday.
It is.
And that should be a rather heated series. Nothing too much to say about that yet. Both teams played extremely well in their series, so we'll see what team has the most firepower in what looks to be two of the most dominant teams in the playoffs right now, maybe outside of the Jazz.
Yeah, I said it yesterday, but in my opinion, winner of this is taking the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I still would have to side with you and agree with you on that. Damn. Our boys. Knicks got bounced last night. Maybe shouldn't have been parading out in the streets all too early there, huh, Knicks fans? That shutting down 7th Ave was a little bit premature, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, Trae Young was fantastic. He
Take a bow, kid.
Took the role of villain and ran with it and threw it right back in their face. And I think he might, I'm not saying they're going to win the series, but he's going to play a similar role in good old Philly with those Philly fans in this next one. I'm assuming that game's going to start on Sunday. It wasn't scheduled when I was looking this morning for it, but I imagine that'll be a Sunday start. So,
well, now that the 76ers moved on last night and not having to go into a game 6 or game 7, it gives them a lot more time to hopefully potentially get Embiid back. We'll see. I'm not sure. Actually, it doesn't give them as much time because they're not on the court as much, giving them that time to rest. So we'll see if Embiid can make it back for this series. I don't know. I mean, they obviously didn't look like they skipped a beat at all last night.
Right.
Seth Curry has a playoff high. I don't know, 76ers, I wasn't completely bought in without Embiid. I thought that the Wizards were going to be able to get an outright victory, if not at the very least a cover last night, and they looked great up until the end of the third quarter, and it was just a brutal collapse end of their season. That's pretty much a wrap on that one for them. So I'm back high on the 76ers. I think they have a serious shot to go deep again here as well. And
no question.
Against the Hawks, I don't know. Maybe we'll see that.
Interesting.
We'll see that $50,000 better. Him placing it on the Hawks earlier, $100,000, whatever it was. We'll see if it starts to get sweaty for him or if his bet starts to make a whole lot of sense to all of us.
Yeah, I'm not putting it past the Hawks to upset the Sixers.
No. Not with how they're playing.
Especially without Embiid. I'm going to take the Sixers if they've got a healthy Embiid. But even with Embiid, I think it's going to be a sweaty one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be too. I think this is going to be a jam-packed series. I did not see this coming from the Hawks at all with how they played all season. I think I might have bet on them maybe 2 or 3 times all season long. They were just not a team you could trust. And now they're here.
They picked it up the last couple of weeks of the season, and they have brought it for the playoffs. So.
Yeah, that is no doubt whatsoever. However, speaking of really brought it, which of these two teams has brought it so far, or is there even a definitive answer to this question? Dallas Mavericks, LA Clippers. Clippers take game 3 and game 4.
Correct.
Even up the series. Dallas now goes back to LA in true to form all season long. Can't get the job done at home.
Right.
Can't cover a fucking spread at home. Leaves and gets the 105-100 victory yesterday in LA.
I think this one's going 7, my man.
I think so too.
This one's going 7, and if,
I think so too.
The road team wins every single one. That's going to be a weird series. But Luka looked just fine last night. That neck wasn't really holding him back. And did you see the look Rondo gave Kawhi after he missed the
he was pretty upset about that. He was pretty upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, Rondo's not much of a shooter himself, so I don't know what right he has given that look to Kawhi.
But that's going to be interesting. We'll see if the Mavs get another one. So Game 6 should be played in LA or no? Maybe I go back to Dallas.
No, it'll be in Dallas.
So go back to Dallas and then finish in LA. So if Dallas moves on by winning in LA, and like you said, every away team wins in this series, when they're, that would be insane. I don't know if that's ever happened before.
Like I said, that's a good question. I'm sure
that's crazy. But that's something to look up. Maybe something we'll have for you at some point in time. Might have to look that up. Outside of that, nothing else from last night of super note. The Jazz handled business. Grizzlies obviously couldn't get it done. We don't want to waste any more time on that because we both love the Grizzlies and wish they could have done a little bit more. However, moving right along, we have 2 games tonight. Partner's got the one. He is heavy high on the Suns against the Lakers. I am as well. I think this game is going to be quite similar, maybe a little 20-point blowout. It'll be close at the beginning. I think you're going to see similar output from LeBron. I don't think LeBron James is 100%, and I don't think that he is anybody you should be putting your money on, regardless of if they're going back to LA and this is a must-win situation for them. With the way Booker's shot, with the way Ayton is shooting and playing inside, and the way Chris Paul is commanding that team, I don't think there's anything this Lakers team can do. And like you said, you got to expect an out-of-body performance from one of these Lakers not named LeBron James in order for something to happen and them to get a win.
Right, because it seems like, LeBron, it seems like he's at least like 90%, and he's not the problem. He's just not going over the top like he has in past years. And like you said, there ain't nobody else showing up to help him. And that Suns defense is good enough to hold down everyone else not named LeBron James. So.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts lie as well. So I think the Suns squeak away nice and easy tonight, and then our Moneyline Dice have selected the Portland Trailblazers. I think that game's going to be quite tight, quite back and forth, and I think you're right, partner. I think it comes down to a last-second Portland Trailblazers Dame time, Mr. Lillard home run shot from the back, and he just puts it right in like he always does.
I hope so, man. He is the most electric clutch performer in the NBA.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I was torn on that game, so I was happy to let the dice decide on whatever it was. But I am more than happy. Dame might be my favorite player in the NBA, so I am more than happy to get to watch him and hopefully see some heroics from him again.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, the more I think about it, I do think the Nuggets get that cover of the 4.5. But another thing you think about is that in this series, a 4.5 to 5 point spread, the favorite has covered every single one of those. And then if they did cover tonight, they would be 4-0-1 against that 5 point spread. So it's been kicking around 4.5 to 5 points. So kind of something you want to think about there. I don't know. I mean, the Blazers might get it done, but I think it's a little bit tighter than what the books are giving you for sure. So play with caution, but if you're playing with the dice, as we are, Portland Blazers money line. That about does it for the NBA. NHL heating up, my Habs rocking and rolling. I feel like I've said that 1,000,001 times, so I'm going to be conscious not to say that again today because I've just said it so much for some reason.
I think you're right on with it.
But that being the case, they are absolutely tearing teams up. When they came out last night 3-1, oh my gosh. I think that Winnipeg will probably get game 2 just coming back, being in Winnipeg. They'll get the 1-1, and then Montreal will have their way from there on out, and this will end 3-1, 4-1, no problem.
Potentially, but I mean, at the end of the game, Canadians might have a little extra pissed off energy in them. If you didn't see it, I actually don't know the name of who it was, but vicious hit at the end of the game, man. Had to be taken off by a stretcher. It was rough. It was a rough scene to watch.
Yeah, I think it was an egregious hit. I think it was a dirty hit. I don't think it had any place to be in that game.
1 minute left.
Yeah, you
already put it in the ice. Obviously, desperation playoffs, so that definitely has something to play with.
And who knows where his head's at or anything like that, but that's definitely... I don't know, but it's not like the NHL is going to do anything about it. For crying out loud, that whole stuff that happened with the Rangers and the Capitals this year, and Wilson got fined what, $50,000?
Maybe,
okay. Here's $1.
I don't
like
even
crying
know.
out loud. I mean, that's what that's like to those guys. I mean, they don't get fined like a lot of other organizations, professional organizations do. So I don't think anything will come of that. We won't hear too much about it. Avalanche, on a very controversial call, get the overtime victory. A lot of Vegas Knights fans and the Vegas team pissed off about that. However, the Avalanche still looking dominant and looking to get that third victory. Now have to go on the road to Vegas. Can Vegas make the comeback, or are they dead?
I think they're dead, man. I was saying it yesterday. We didn't conclude that it was a must-win for the Knights, but in my head, as far as their chances in the series, they got a lot, obviously down 2-0. But against this Avs team, I don't think that's a team where you're going to come back from a 2-0 deficit too. So I'm taking the Avs in 5-6.
Okay. I would have to side with you there as well. I think this Avs team is just way too doggone dominant to not come away with this series victory, and for some reason they are just overpowering the Vegas Golden Knights. Even though it went to overtime, the Avs just look far and above the better team all night long. So I will continue to be putting my money on the Colorado Avalanche with very much passion. Tonight, we got a solid matchup between the Bruins and the Islanders. I do believe I'll be hammering in the Islanders money line there. Love them at home to the moon and back, so that's probably going to be one of my outside plays. Make sure you keep an eye for that. And then you got Game 3 against Tampa Bay and Carolina. Got a little bit of a total play I'm working on that one. I think that one's going to be over 5.5. A lot of people looking at the under because of the 2-1, 2-1 game in games 1 and 2. As many times as I can say 1 and 2 there. And I think this one's a little bit high scoring. I think this one ends a little 5-3, 4-2 action. Might be a little sweaty, but I think it does go over the 5.5. And last I checked, you're getting some plus odds on that. So not a bad play to think about.
Yeah, I'm right. I think I'm right there with you, man. Those low-scoring games, whenever you got a couple in a row, 2 or 3 in a row that are lower scoring, they bounce right back and go over. I think at least one of these teams puts up 3-4 tonight. I'm not making you pick a side, but gun to your head, which team do you like to take the win in this one?
I've been backing Carolina, but it just seems that they can't get it done against Tampa Bay.
I guess I haven't. I think in this series I haven't backed them, but it was like gun to my head. If I had to pick, I think I like Carolina.
Yeah, I've taken them twice, and it just doesn't look like they have the firepower necessary to get it done over the defending champs. Yeah, I mean that's at the end of the day.
Lightning are heating up, so watch out.
The Lightning are the playoff team, and that's what they always are, and they'll definitely continue to be the playoff team. So yeah, I think the Lightning get that game tonight, and I think they are the 5 or 4 side of that 5-3 prediction or 4-2 prediction.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So there you have it. NHL nonsense news, all that good stuff. Any TTL crew or TTL news, new content updates, anything, partner, thinking about?
Not really. I actually had one thing that I added that I forgot to mention on the agenda. Another situation of hitting end on the stream and some news coming out. Coach K, Duke basketball.
That's right.
Retiring after this upcoming season.
That's right. Thank you, Coach K. First and foremost, what a prolific career. I know you actually have a little bit of thoughts on his post-career.
Oh, yeah. You got to have as much respect as possible. He's just a guy that, without outwardly saying it, he loves the spotlight. So this farewell tour is going to be a farewell tour unlike anything we've seen, in my opinion. I heard some more joking, sarcastic that this might be, before this news came out, that he might announce like a 2-3 year, like I'm retiring after 2-3 years, and then he's going to have this 2-3 year farewell tour. Nonetheless, he's got this 1 year tour, and nothing but respect for the guy.
Oh yeah,
he's the face of college basketball, if you will, the last 2-3 decades. But John Shire is going to be taking over. Apparently, he thinks I like John Shire. I think Coach K must have the utmost respect and trust for him, obviously. So, gotta hate when we hit end on the stream and some live news like that breaks.
Yeah,
so,
but
with that being said, let's see if we've got anything else.
Second C, but Coach K, what can you say? 1,170 career wins, 361 losses. I mean, that's a 764 win percent. What do we got here? A simple rating system. I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but I was going to see if I could get real into the analytical end. But I mean, out of 1,531 games, and you've won 1,170 of those. I mean, that's a career and a half. And of course, the Blue Devils season didn't go the way that we were expecting it to go. That very young lineup, and a lot of those freshmen weren't able to get it done, the usual Blue Devil basketball. But that just got me so excited to start talking about college basketball again. Gosh darn it.
The other aspect of it, though, I mean, Roy Williams obviously also bows out. So, I mean, it seems like these older guys, obviously they're getting older in the first place, but the way the NCAA basketball landscape is changing with, obviously, the current talks of paid players, but even already with the transfer portals and the different recruiting styles, I think they're ready to hang it up and not have to worry about that every single day of their lives, and probably enjoy their own families. So good on them.
I would have to say so, but once again, hashtag thank you, Coach K. Mm-hmm. We appreciate it. All the amazing seasons we got to watch personally, and all the seasons before that a lot of our families have got to watch as well. So, with that all being said, there you have it. Today's Rants and Reactions. We are in business. You got it all. You got all of our hot takes, all the latest sports news and nonsense. So when you're talking in conversations today, you got some extra stuff to pull out of your hip. Why don't you say we get this thing wrapped up, get it all closed out, and finish things off the only way that I and we know how.
Let's go for it.
With some Colts motivation minutes. Do apologize if there was any issues with the stream. Seems that the old internet is on the fritz again this morning, so we'll have to check out, see what the hell is going on there. I do apologize. We'll get it all worked out. It was kind of bumpy at the beginning of the show. That's why we came on a little later. I wanted to make sure it was all working well, but apparently we haven't got the bugs out. Not really sure why. I think it's a YouTube problem, to tell you the truth, because everything internet-wise, everything on my end looks beautiful, so I think it's a YouTube problem.
We're looking okay on this stream. I just pulled up, so
yeah, not looking too bad. So either way, hey, no problem. Let's get into Colts motivation minutes. Wanted to give you just a quick one, nice easy one, something to get you going today. Can't take full credit for it. I will take credit for what I'm about to tell you, but got inspired today from Jocko Willink. If you don't know who Jocko Willink is, I highly suggest you go look him up. He will put you on an entirely different planet with his motivation. That guy is the real deal, Holyfield, former Navy SEAL, and I mean, he walks it, talks it, lives it, breathes it. He is that guy. I mean, Jocko Willink, if we ever had something happen where there was World War III and the world was burning down, we have those guys who are like break glass in case of emergency. We got those super soldiers. Jocko Willink is one of them people. So I suggest you go look him up. Either way, this morning, every single morning, he gets up and puts a picture on his Instagram of his watch around 4 to 4:30 in the morning. And he just puts a little quote or a little something, whatever, get some, or what's for today. This is what got me inspired and got me started. And it's kind of what I wanted to speak on today. His caption today for his picture of the day was, "There are no guarantees." And I mean, how much more do you need to say than that? 4 simple words, but it has such a profound message behind it. There is nothing guaranteed for you in this life. The fact that you woke up this morning is so much of a blessing in and of itself that you can't even begin to fathom it. The fact that you even have the opportunity to go about your day, to work the job that you do, to live in the house that you do, is beyond any comprehension. There are no guarantees in this life. It can end just like that. Something can happen, and as dark and as morbid that sounds, there really isn't. It can be over just like that, and everything, and even if it just isn't over, if you don't want to go to the extreme of potentially death, if you want to just go to the extreme of anything you have, your house can burn down tomorrow. Your company can close. Things can be going on behind the scenes that you have no idea about. Your job's going great. Your boss calls you in. The company's closing. There are no guarantees. I kind of wanted to speak to, I don't want to say our younger audience because you guys are our age. I mean, you're anywhere from 23 to 28. If you're tuning in, I wanted to speak to you, and I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't know why you need to hear it, but I wanted to tell you guys, now is not time to coast. Now is not time to worry about saving. Now is not time to stay comfortable in mommy and daddy's basement. Now is the time to start investing in yourself, to stop worrying about blowing your money on useless shit and saying that you save money when you really don't. You're compared to what you blow, you don't save money. And then you have the audacity to say that you actually have money when it just sits there and it's not making you any money. So it's time to get up. It's time to start moving. It's time to start wasting your life. There are no guarantees that you are going to continue to have that same job, or there is going to continue to be the same roof over your head. There are no guarantees out there. The only option that you have is to move every single day and work on improving yourself every single day. And when I say invest in yourself, use what resources you have to pursue a passion, to start an investment account, to get into some form of business you've been trying to, but you don't know how. Start investing in it. Not only your money resources, your financial resources, your time, your energy, your effort. Start investing into things that you want to do, because a lot of people have it twisted, is that this is the time where you just kind of get into the job and settle and everything's good and no big deal, and you just kind of go with the flow. Well, the problem is that you become complacent and content in that, and before you know it, 30, 35 rolled along, and now you start wanting to try all this stuff, but it's not possible because you have a wife or a husband and kids and a home and a mortgage and all this stuff that you could have tried when's the prime time to be messing up, 23 to 28. Instead, you didn't. So, with all that being said, I don't know who needed to hear that today, but I want you guys just to remember that there are no guarantees, and if you've been holding out on chasing after a passion because of X, Y, and Z, forget about that. Go chase after it. If you've been waiting to make a move, you've had something in the works, but you just, one thing or another, you've been able to find one excuse after other as to why you shouldn't right now. Speaking from two guys from experience, just do it right now. Right now is the only time, because tomorrow might not be guaranteed. You might not have the opportunity to chase that dream tomorrow. Anything can happen. Live every single day, as cliche as it sounds, like your last, and make every opportunity that comes your way work in your favor. Stop wasting them. If something comes along, don't just let it pass you by. See what it does. Stop living your life what if. See what that thing does for your life, if it takes you somewhere, if it elevates you. Because once again, there are no guarantees in this life. And right now is the best time for you to start. Start betting on yourself. Start investing in yourself. And let's wake up. Let's wake up, everybody. It's time to go. Wake up. There are no guarantees. That's my motivation minutes for today.
I love it, man.
How you feeling? What are you thinking? Anything you could add?
To add, I mean, no, you pretty much nailed it. You used me as an example already. So,
no.
I mean, yeah, there's not much I can add to that. Like you said, there's no guarantees. Now is the time in your 20s, especially, and not even, if you're past your 20s and you've got, there still is probably a chance.
There's still time.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's still plenty of time. But I'm telling you, regardless, it was more on my heart to say it to some of the younger crowd. Sure. But I know we have older generation that listens to us as well. So same thing for you. Go. Advance. Mm-hmm. Do what you got to do. There's no time to sit around and wait anymore, because it can be over just like that. Life is too doggone short, and there are way too many things in between you and your passions that you could just put away if you just realize that there's no guarantees and you stop wasting your energy on the things that don't matter.
Yeah, no question.
So that's what I have for today. I hope that sparked a little something within you as well. That does it for my Colts Motivation Minutes. Wrapping up today's show, my friend. We made it. Episode number 50. Beautiful. Looking good. Had to double check on the stream. June 3rd, 2021 in the books. How you feeling? Before we wrap this bad boy up, partner, anything burning on the brain, melting on the soul, festering in the heart, you've been dying to get out to the kind folks that joined us on episode 51 here today.
I've got two things today. Two things.
Okay.
It's a juicy one.
Okay.
Two juicy ones.
Okay.
I've been waiting all episode.
Oh boy, here we go. Usually he's not, folks, so this is good.
Number one.
Here we go.
Usually it's nonsense. Is it still nonsense? Yeah, but it's true to my heart nonsense.
Good.
Number one.
Roll it.
McLovin from the movie Superbad.
Yep.
License plate.
Yep.
June 3rd, 1981. He turns 40 today.
Get the hell out of town.
Yeah.
He turns 40 today?
That actor, I don't think so. I'm saying what was
just
on that
McLovin.
McLovin's license plate.
Oh, okay. I was about to say if it was, because I can't think of the actor's name, what it was.
I'm drawing a blank either.
But McLovin turns 40 today.
Yeah. It's been like 15 years. He was
like 20. Am McLovin.
He was like 20 on the license plate. It was like, the joke was obviously that he was like 25 instead of, writing 21. So McLovin turns 40 today, so that was number one.
You're an organ donor.
And then I randomly found another one. Miller Lite and New Balance are collaborating to create a New Balance dad koozie, I believe for Father's Day. It is a koozie in the shape of not a full shoe, but the back of the New Balance shoe.
Like the dad shoe. The lawn mowing shoe.
Yeah. So it's a New Balance koozie.
Hey, talk about a marketing ploy right there. I like it.
I want it bad.
I like it a lot. I think I'd get one as well.
I want it real bad.
If you get the link, be sure to send it my way. It looks
shout out Today in Sports page. I saw it on there. It's a good
big
solid
shout
page.
out. Big shout out. They started off right around the time we did, a little bit before. But if you have not followed Today in Sports, I suggest you do. They are a fun page, interactive page for as big as they are, and super, super cool. They were really small when we found them, and now they pump out content. They are awesome. We love them over there. So be sure you follow Today in Sports too. Outside of that, thanks for the couple quick sidebars there, partner. Definitely one hell of a way to close out the pod here. For everyone that is watching live, we appreciate you. We thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. You give us the energy and the motivation to continue get up every single day and do this. We don't just roll right out of bed and hop on the pod. There's a lot of researching and putting together of the show and all the nuts and bolts in between that you don't hear about. So it just makes us continue to keep pushing and wanting to make this bigger and better for all of you. All the stuff behind the scenes that you don't see, all the intricate details and everything is the stuff that really makes this machine spin. So once again, it just wouldn't be possible without you guys. So for all of the rest of you who are not watching live, maybe watching the recorded version, whether that's on the tube or your favorite podcast directory, thank you guys so much as well. As always, we are so appreciative of your following, of your views, of your listens, your subscriptions, everything in between all those keywords. Thank you guys so much. You are awesome, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. We got a few new things set to roll out as far as content goes very, very soon. So please, please stick with us. Stay tuned. Even though we have a little bump in the road from time to time, we always get it back, baby. We always refill that account, and we always have enough to take back out and refill it again. So ladies and gentlemen, degenerates, gamblers far and wide. Without further ado, for myself and Mags, we thank you so much for stopping by today's episode, and we hope you have a spectacular rest of your Thursday. Unless you have other plans, let's cash some tickets.